Hello and welcome. This is NAFDAC and Your Health, that TV program that preoccupies itself with ensuring that your health is safeguarded by giving you updates on how to patronize only wholesome food products and drugs of good quality. I am your host, Amanda Go.
Today, we'll kick off the show with a recently held biannual meeting of the Nigerian Fortification Alliance comprising NAFDAC and other stakeholders to deliberate on ways of enhancing food fortification. And on the second segment, we'll be bringing you highlights of the stakeholders meeting recently organized with the Association of Food, Tobacco and Beverages Employers to get feedbacks on the Directorate service delivery to the stakeholders. The safety of food products made available for purchase in the market for consumption of the general public is one among numerous areas of concern for the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control. Part of the things the agency pays critical attention to is the presence of the necessary micronutrients in the various food products. This is otherwise known as food fortification.
It is extremely important for me as the Director General to drive efforts to ensure that the foods that we eat are safe. Why? Because I'm part of the consumer and I'm part of the population. Anything that I cannot eat, I will not allow such to get into the market. When you look at the human mind, there is nothing a human mind cannot do unless it is checked, it's legislated, and controlled. We have been going around the country trying to sensitize, first, the health journalists and the communities about the fact that we have to be very careful in terms of what we buy. Food fortification is extremely important because there are some nutrients that we don't get enough of through the foods that we eat, especially for children. Vitamin A is an example. For oil, for milk, for sugar, for, flour, things like that. It is extremely important when a child is growing up or adults, pregnant women, to eat foods that are fortified. A lot of our cereals are fortified. Oil, I've mentioned oil, are fortified. But there are some people who do not go through that process of fortification. So we go out, sample. If there is no vitamin A there, we shut them down. But we have been doing that on and on and on. But when greed takes over trade, then somebody's life is endangered. So fortification of foods, certain foods, very, very important. And that is part of what Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate and our enforcement, that's what they do in terms of ensuring that the foods that are out there that are supposed to be fortified are fortified.
It is in ensuring that food products are adequately fortified with the appropriate micronutrients that NAFDAC collaborates with other stakeholders in the food regulation, like the Standards Organization of Nigeria and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, to ensure that manufacturers of food products comply with the guidelines on the inclusion of the necessary micronutrients in their food products. This is also the reason behind the establishment of the Food Fortification Alliance, a platform where issues, challenges, and way forward on food fortification are discussed, and results of findings on compliance monitoring by regulatory bodies are discussed. Another biannual meeting of the National Fortification Alliance to give updates on the activities on food fortification held recently in Lagos. As the regulatory body directly concerned with the regulation and control of the food products, NAFDAC was duly present at the meeting. Mrs. Ahmed Baboyle, a Deputy Director in the Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate of NAFDAC, is also a member of the team that works in the NFA Secretariat.
Food fortification program is usually carried out to improve the nutritional status of the populace. That means it has been identified that we have serious macronutrient deficiencies in our populace. And the Federal Ministry of Health, in their wisdom, advised that there is need for us to fortify some of our staple foods. And these staple foods include vegetable oil, sugar, flour, and this flour can be wheat flour, maize flour, and also salt with iodine. And these micronutrients that are being fortified for these products include vitamin A, iron, zinc, vitamin B complex, and others. And usually, fortification is a way of improving the nutritional nutrients of these foods so that it will support the proper growth and development of our children, and especially our women of reproductive age, so that the children they will give birth to are well nourished. And the act of fortification is just adding minute quantities of these micronutrients to our food, because they are actually needed by the body in small quantities.
Also present at the NFA meeting was the head of nutrition unit of the Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate, Mr. Abdulrazak Jeddah.
Even though we have some overlapping function between NAFDAC and standard organization, but NFA were able to manage it. When we come to NFA, there is a specific function assigned to each of the regulatory agencies, not without minding or undermining our mandate. First of all, NAFDAC were reporting our activity at the market level survey. So we carry out survey every year. We ensure the fortification level are met as far as the fortificants. Then Standard Organization Nigeria, when they come to NFA, they report factory level. So whatever their findings are as far as their visits to factories, that's what they report. Well, FCCPC, they report at the household level. So you can see that it's a peaceful coexistence between the three regulatory agencies to ensure that the fortification mandate is met in Nigeria.
In his opening remark, the chairman of the alliance, Mr. Fred Chiazo, had given updates on the activities of the NFA since the last meeting and the projections, charging members to be more cooperative and focused.
We have made significant progress, and I'm confident that our collective expertise will propel us even further. I understand that our discussions will be robust, dynamic, as well as very encouraging. I so therefore wish us to engage in a spirit of cooperation, respect, fostering an environment conducive to fruitful dialogue.
As the updates being deliberated upon at the meeting as a result of the post-marketing surveillance and the laboratory testing of the food products in the market, Mrs. Oluyemisi Odofin of the NAFDAC Central Laboratory, Oshodi, comments on the efforts of NAFDAC and the process of analyzing the samples gathered, upon which updates of the NFA were drawn.
I'm glad to tell you that I've been part of the analytical aspect of this fortification project since inception. And I've been in the lab, and we have been carrying out lots of survey on to check the level of compliance of fortified food products. The fortified food products start from adding the right premix. I'm glad to tell you that we have all the required equipment, laboratory equipment, to analyze the premix.
The officials from the Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate also gave assessments on the level of compliance on the part of the manufacturers.
I will really commend the Nigerian industry that are producing food fortified products, because right from beginning they have shown commitment and interest to ensure that their foods they align with the Nigerian industrial standard on food fortification.
The industry are trying. They are complying. In fact, they are always eager to hear a report both from SAN and NAFDAC, because it will give them idea of their performance.
Mrs. Jane Omojoku, MD of Nogata Consult and the consultant to NFA for Particles Humanities, was a participant at the meeting.
I must commend NAFDAC. The way the NFA is structured is that it's a biennial meeting, which means they meet 2 times in a year. And from the report of the previous meeting, the first meeting in the year, around July, we listened to the NAFDAC report. They had to check all over the country, the 36 states, monitoring the micronutrients, you know, how much compliance you have in sugar and in oil. They had their data. So what they've done this time is also to do a comparative analysis from last year, then this year, this is the second meeting for the year. So they compared to see how are the people complying, what do they have, what results are they getting in all the states from last year, what's the difference? And they actually came out with the fact that people are complying better. So for me, it's a structured, organized way of doing things. If you're doing a survey or a data related, or, you know, like NAFDAC, we know uses lab analysis. You don't just pronounce on anything, whether you're registering the product. So it's not just enough to do one testing. You should be comparing, because you're checking for compliance. So you want to know, are they complying? And for me, the fact that you went around taking samples is some kind of creating awareness. So those you sampled, because you're not just going to go there and start taking their stuff. You're going to explain, we're checking this. You probably tell them, you know, some things that NAFDAC is involved in, the effect of storage, how they should store, you know, those like introducing a survey you're doing. So for me, what I see is that they're quite, you know, intentional. They're following it scientifically. They've done taking samples last year. They've followed up in those same places. They've seen an improvement. So for me, it shows that they enlighten them enough. And if such things continue, indirectly, the population will be better informed. So it doesn't have to be a formal bringing people together, doing public enlightenment. That one is good, you know, but every opportunity that presents.
Other stakeholders present at the NFA meeting were the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Federal Ministry of Education, Nutrition Society of Nigeria, Flour Mills PLC, and Dangote Sugar Refinery PLC, among others.
You have been watching NAFDAC and Your Health. The program continues shortly. Stay with us.
NAFDAC has observed the dangerous practice of ripening of fruits with carbide, despite persistent NAFDAC campaign against it. To this end, NAFDAC hereby informs the general public to note the following: that calcium carbide is an explosive chemical. It changes the skin color of the fruit whilst the fruit remains raw. Calcium carbide also causes diarrhea, ulcer on the skin, mouth, and throat, burning sensation in the chest and abdomen, neurological system disorder, dizziness, memory loss, low blood pressure, cerebral edema, kidney and liver diseases. NAFDAC therefore advises the general public to desist from the use of these dangerous chemicals but allow fruits to ripen naturally on the plant. However, if fruits must be ripened artificially, NAFDAC has provided 3 easy and safe ways of ripening fruits. 1. Collect your fruits and put into a paper bag. Seal it and wait for a few days. 2. Apple and banana peels can be added to the fruit to help it ripe faster. 3. Direct exposure to sunlight facilitates ripening of fruits. This message is from the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned.
It has always been part of NAFDAC's characteristic to ensure good service delivery and customer satisfaction as an underlying principle to achieving the agency's primary aim of safeguarding the health of Nigerians. It was in this regard that the Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate of NAFDAC on Friday, 8th of December 2023, held a stakeholders meeting with the Association of Food, Beverage, Tobacco Employers, Marketers and Sellers of Edible Oil and Small-Scale Industrialists to take stock of the Directorate's service delivery to these stakeholders so as to work towards addressing areas that need better attention and work towards enhanced service delivery.
So what we're having here today is going to be a feedback session. We exist because of you. And I am very much aware of that. We are here to deliver service to you. And if we don't hear from you about how we are serving you, then we cannot do better. And so that is the whole objective of our gathering here today.
These comments by the director of FSAN obviously prompted the participants to speak up on various issues affecting their businesses in relation to NAFDAC's activities. They raised issues relating to product registration, product approval, warehouse inspection, export and import permits, and so on.
The reason for the meeting today was to, it's like a stock take. We're already in December, it's the end of the year, 2023. We wanted an open dialogue session, a feedback session, a frank feedback from the industry on how we have served them this year and areas they want to see improvements as we go into 2024. The objective is to continue to offer and improve our service delivery to the public, to our clients. So that was the reason for today's meeting. It was a very fruitful meeting, very, very fruitful meeting, because on both sides we were able to have some, really frank discussions, frank feedback from the industry, because we created that safe environment and said to them, please feel free to speak to us in a very frank manner about those things that you want to see us continue to do and the things you want to see us improve on. And they were very frank, very open, and we're armed with things that we are going to pay more attention to in 2024 and beyond as we continue to serve the industry, the food industry. So that was the whole objective. It's been very good. We've taken notes and we're going to take all of these on board as we go into 2024 to continue to serve them and serve them better.
Mr. Fred Chiazor is the Chairman Technical Committee of the AFBTE.
We've been having very great relationship with FSAN and NAFDAC as a whole. We've always had a win-win situation where we work together in partnership and not seen as police and criminal issues, but rather as partnering to ensure that the public is upheld and things affecting the public are taken care of. So we look after the health of the public alongside with NAFDAC. It's of great advantage to both sides. For us, we learn from FSAN what they want us to improve on, and they learn from us what we want them to improve on. And that's why I said earlier, it's a win-win situation, which helps the nation as a whole. My takeaway from today's meeting has been awesome. My members have learned a lot, the new things coming into NAFDAC, and NAFDAC has also learned from us too what we want to be changed. And so we're hoping that 2024 will be even a better year for all of us.
The participants were pleased and quite appreciative of this initiative by the FSAN Directorate to give them improved service delivery in the years ahead and the opportunities this initiative affords them.
I'm satisfied, and I think I can do better when it comes to relationship with NAFDAC, and the things I got to do that greatly matters.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, at the year 2023 commemoration of the World Universal Health Coverage Day held in Abuja, commended the Director General of NAFDAC for doing a great job in safeguarding the health of Nigerians.
I'm glad NAFDAC too is here. I must say I watch your programs, doing a good job. Thank you.
At the commemoration themed Health for All, Time for Action, President Tinubu also gave kudos to the Coordinating Minister of Health, Professor Mamman Ali Pate, and the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Tuji Alausa, saying that they are helping to improve the quality of health of Nigerians, which is part of the renewed hope his administration promised Nigerians. Officials of NAFDAC from the Investigation and Enforcement Unit of the agency, acting on intelligence on Monday 11th of December 2023, swooped on Cemetery Market, Aba, Abia State, to find out that so many shops in the popular market had been converted to manufacturing centers where all manners of wines and expensive drinks were produced, and revalidation of dates for expired products were also done en masse. Speaking on the outcome of the raid, the director of the Southeast Zone of NAFDAC, Mr. Martin Siliyomade, said that 4 trailers would not be enough to move out the fake and expired products discovered in the market. According to him, that showed the extent of dangers the clandestine activities going on in the market were creating. The Southeast Zonal Directors, however, called for the immediate shutdown of the market until the market is sanitized. A call has also been extended to the Abia State Governor, Dr. Alex Oti, to cooperate with NAFDAC in ensuring that the horrendous activities going on in the market are stopped and that the market gets sanitized. That was the news update. You have been updated.
This is how far we can go on this edition of NAFDAC and Your Health. Another edition will be brought for your viewing pleasure, same time, same station, next week. Meanwhile, we would appreciate any information on activities that can put the health of the public at risk. If you have any of such information, please reach out to us.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Don't forget, importing, producing, distributing, marketing and selling of unwholesome food products, drugs, substandard medical equipment and chemicals are criminal. Join NAFDAC to put a stop to these crimes. Till we come your way again next week, stay safe.